Hello there, everybody. Apologies about the sound issues there. An absolute bit of a problem from us. It is still 0-0 here. We are back on. I realised what I had done. I hadn't pressed a certain button. Apologies about that. Oh, typical. We had, tell you what, we'll give you a good 20 minutes there as well without even knowing anyone wasn't listening. So apologies about that. It is Gateshead 0, Guiseley 0 at the moment. You've missed about 6 minutes. Apologies about that. We'll quickly read out the Gateshead team. We haven't got the team sheets as of yet, but this is how Gateshead line up. It's Chapman in goal, Womble, Tinkler, Story, Nicholson, Jacob, Bailey, Ollie, Campbell, Scott, and Langstaff. And I'll just have to go with names and numbers at the moment for Guiseley. We haven't got their names and numbers at the moment, so apologies that we are still waiting for the team sheet. But at the moment, it's been pinged over the top now for the run of Kedwin Scott on the left-hand side. He's got number 11 for company. Trying to get past his man. Manages to lay it off to Owen Bailey, who has a tackle from behind and loses out on the ball, but it's won back by Jacob. And now we have the team sheets. So that's absolutely fantastic. And we can start to give names and numbers, as Gateshead have just given away a foul there halfway inside the Guiseley half. Apologies, everybody, about that. If you could share it and say that it is back on. Technical issues. And I say... I got myself all frazzled there, Mark. But I say, Mark, welcome. I'm here with Mark Carruthers. Of course, you didn't hear my introduction earlier on. Looking forward to this game, and a little bit scrappy at the beginning.
It's probably the best introduction that's ever been done in any broadcast ever as well, but never mind.
It certainly has. Thank you to everyone that stayed with us when we had the slight technical problem there. Well, we are here with you. This is how Guiseley line up. It's Jordan Amesa in goal, Jake Hull, Brad Nicholson, Prince Apollo, Hamza Ben Sharif, it's Mbeka, Felix Cantrell, Grattan, and Ollie Metcalf, and Regan Hutchinson. And it's Ollie Metcalf's first senior appearance as well, as we mentioned in the build-up that nobody heard. But we hope that you're all safe and well and tuned in. Remember, you can let us know where you're listening from in the world as well. We'd love to hear from you. Send your predictions in and be fully interactive with us here, as Lewis Story plays it across the park to Nicholson, who carries the ball forward. Just checks his run and plays it back across to Lewis Story. Well, Tinkler gives it to Campbell, who tried to ping a ball forward, and now Campbell comes out into a body of Guiseley and Gateshead players and cleared it, but now Gateshead win the ball back through Campbell. There's a poor pass in midfield after Guiseley intercepted it, and Womble plays it back to Lewis Story. In turn, plays it across the other side of the defence to Nicholson. Kedwin Scott's dropped deep into the centre circle but loses possession, and now the ball is intercepted. A strong tackle there from Lewis Story, who manages to lay it off to Womble, but unfortunately couldn't keep it in.
Just trying to work through the formation here. It looks like a back three of Nicholson, Story, and Tinkler, with Womble and Jacob as wing backs, Bailey and Ollie in front, and then that front three we spoke about in the introduction of what looks like Macaulay Langstaff up top as a 9 with Campbell and Kedwin Scott just off them.
I think that'll change a little bit throughout the game as well as we go on. Between the front three, as in the build-up that nobody heard, we talked about how they work as a unit and can interchange positions all the way throughout that. But say Ben Chapman, calling him Ben Chapman, I don't know why. Jacob Chapman, all in pink, saying made a fantastic double save at the weekend on Saturday and made a penalty save and amongst that. But now Macaulay Langstaff drives into the box. He's going to go for a shot himself.
Oh, what a finish!
Just blasts it into the roof of the net, and that is 1-0 to Gateshead. And Macaulay Langstaff, he is enjoying having the ball at his feet at the moment.
Well, it might sound like we're making this up. We did load him in that introduction. You know, he's been in great form. Everyone at the club says how good he's been in training and how impressive they've been when they've played pre-season games. What a great finish. Showed his strength, showed his pace. We spoke about Ben Sharif being a key player for Guiseley, but he's been embarrassed a little bit there because Langstaff's got past him so easily in such a small space. I thought he was going to pull it back.
Well, Matty Jacobs had his arms up. He was in acres of space, but he had the confidence and he had the skill to put that in the back of the net.
It's a great finish, you know, because that's such a tight angle, and it's really the only place he could have put it.
Well, it was that impressive. We both kind of lost our composure on that one, but yeah, it's a good one. But it's going to go out for a goal kick to Gateshead here, and that is the start that you want from Gateshead. And good afternoon from Estonia, from Neil Pinkerton. We did read out your messages earlier on, and leftover venison is, but the squad looks good this season, feeling very positive. Yes, I say it's just feel good factors. We in the mouth, and I'll probably say the best of a build up that's never been heard. And if you're just joining us, apologies that we had a few technical issues before we came on. As now Matty Jacobs tries to beat his man, wins a throw in next to the corner flag. As the wind's picked up here, we did have a slight glimpse of blue sky before kick-off, but it's went a little bit blustery and a little bit drizzly again here at Gateshead International Stadium as Ollie tries to nod it down to Kedwin Scott. He just couldn't get there, and the ball quickly moved up from Guiseley with Chapman. He's playing like Emmanuel Neuer at the moment. He's coming out and he's winning balls 10, 15 yards outside his box. But now Robbie Tinkler can just slow the ball down, plays it forward to Womble. Former Sunderland man as he gets the ball back from Ollie, but there was just way too much on it. And on the far side, Nicholson for Guiseley can try and hold off Campbell as he clears it up the pitch. And the ball goes out play for a Gateshead throw.
Yeah, just to start Gateshead wanted then. It is a great finish. We'll keep going back to it, but great bit of play from Langstaff. It's give them something to build on now. And honestly, they look at the minute like the honey side, isn't it? Because they're playing some lovely stuff at times.
Yeah. An apology for anyone's ears as well. I think I did have the mic up a little bit loud going out, but you'll forgive us. It was a great goal as Apollo brings the ball forward, finds Felix. Felix can put it out to the left-hand side, and now Hutchinson can play it forward for the run of McKebba, but it's cleared by Gateshead, and Kedwin Scott holding it up. And number 2, Jake Hull. Wow, what a man mountain he is. He's probably a good, because he's about 6'5", isn't he? 6'7".
Aren't we all, David?
No, we are. But for a right back, that is quite a tall player. But Kedwin Scott did well and gets the free kick. Has quickly been taken on the far side. Now with Story, who puts it back to Alex Nicholson. Got a lovely message from Aaron Pinkerton, which is hello from Plymouth. Great squad this season. They have the drive needed to get in the playoffs and onwards and upwards. I couldn't agree more. But remember, you can do as everyone else has done and send in those messages. And now Gateshead have the ball just inside their own half. Lewis Story, who sees Matty Jacob in acres of space, who unfortunately went to bring it down. I think the bounce deceived him and out it goes. But if he had been able to control that, he would have got past his man. That's
twice Lewis Story's played that ball, that diag, and he's got such a good connection on it. You know, we mentioned the blustery wind, but he's managed to get it to Jacob's feet. Just hasn't been able to control it.
McCall Langstaff has the ball in the box, goes to the shot, he scores! What a finish! This boy is confident in his own skills, and he's paying the bills. It's 2-0 to Gateshead.
Please never say that again.
The puns are coming out today.
Jokes aside, I mean, that's an unbelievable finish. He's left-hand side of the area. Again, I mentioned it with his first goal. It's the only place he can put it, but he's bent it. He sent it outside of the post.
The placement.
And he's got that much curl on it. It's just nestled inside the far post. I do wonder if the goalkeeper, Jordan Emerson, might be a little bit disappointed with that.
He seemed to be in slow motion there, didn't he? But say the finish was inch perfect.
Unbelievable finish.
And wow, Gateshead really starting with intent here again at Gateshead International Stadium. It's Gateshead 2, Guiseley 0, and we're only into 14 minutes gone. Or 13 minutes, sorry. Well, Mike Williamson on the touchline, named as a substitute today. He'll be very, very happy with the start that's happened. As the ball's been brought down by Jake Hull, played inside, and Gateshead win the ball back, and Ollie was fouled from behind there. And that was a number 8, I think it was, Cantrell, who just took Ollie off his feet.
There's a lovely work ethic about this Gateshead midfield, by the way. Ollie and Bailey are really dominating in there, despite the fact they're outnumbered. They're really dominating proceedings, and it's given the forward players a bit of a platform to build on.
It is, and it's lovely to have the wing backs as well, as Womble tries to get past his man and just overhit it, and out it goes for a goal kick. But having the 3 centre backs and the wingers really does give Gateshead that shape to allow them front 3 players to have movement and harass the defenders.
When you've got 3 players at the top end of the pitch that are as talented as Langstaff, Scott and Campbell are, you've got to give them as much opportunity to create. I mean, we're not even 15 minutes in, they're 2-0 up. And they look as if they can get in at will here, particularly Langstaff, who's on fire. It's been a really good start. The third goal kills this game for me.
Well, Nicholson heads the ball up. Hull heads it back towards there, and it's been brought down. Ollie's battling to try and win it back, but Felix does well, plays it out to the far side to Ollie Metcalf, who could only play the ball forward towards the Gateshead shirt. And now Gateshead will be wanting to continue in the way they've started, because every time they move forward, they seem to be looking very dangerous. Robbie Tinkler gonna get this just inside the Guiseley half. He looks up, finds the captain Ollie, who tries to play a first-time ball over the top there, and that looked like a slight elbow in the face for Tinkler, but he carries on. Now it's with Nicholson, who has space to carry it forward himself, but content to let the ball do the work here for Gateshead. There's no rush, as now it's out back to Robbie Tinkler on the right-hand side. They build from the back and carry the ball forward. Ollie in the centre of the pitch plays the ball through. Ben Sharif read that very well. It's been cleared, but only as far as the Gateshead shirt. Now Owen Bailey looks to play it out to the left-hand side. Matty Jacob gets past his man, fortunately, and
pull back.
It's been put out for a throw in there, but he did very well, the youngster on loan from Hull. And Connor Rice has hand us the title now. There's a long way to go, Connor. There's a long way to go. But if we play like this, then we can be competitive against any side in the league. As Story plays it across to Tinkler.
Mike Williamson's still asking for more, isn't he? Raising those standards.
Well, we've seen in pre-season the intensity and the pressure that Gateshead used against every team they played against, and even against Ashton. I know it was a 9-0 scoreline and teams were lower division, but the drive was there as if they were 1-0 down the whole game. Well, Kedwin Scott gives it into the middle to Ollie. Ollie finds Campbell. Campbell puts it out to Womble, who plays it inside to Langstaff, who just turns back on himself. Still got the ball, gets it to Ollie, back to Langstaff. Can he go for his hat-trick? Goes for the shot. Goal! I was just about to say he can, but that was inches away.
Such a patient build up there. Every pass was just measured to perfection. A great little touch back to him. And Langstaff, the way he started this game, you just think everything's going to hit, it's going to go in. It's Gateshead in complete control here.
And there's nothing rushed about it either. It's patient build-up play, looking for the gaps, using the old say, playing the triangles, and they're just letting the ball do the work. And not going to say walking through the defence, but they're finding the gaps with ease at the moment.
It's the movement. It's the movement of that front three that's just hurting. That could be a fact.
Well, Jake Hull was all over the back of Macaulay Langstaff here, and Ben Sharif just passed it back to his centre-back pair, and there is lovely ball over the top, and now Campbell chasing down. He's got the ball at his feet. And it was good defending there from Nicholson. He just did enough to put his man off, and he was firm. But good chance for Campbell to get in the box. All through a bit of sloppy passing. But now Langstaff brings it down, gets it to Kedwin Scott, who's holding it up. He's got three men around him. Lovely ball to Matty Jacobs, who cuts it across. Oh, I thought he was going to cut it across, but he went for glory. And why not? He was bearing down, tight angle, side netting.
First time I've seen Jacob, but I really like looks at him. His intent is to go forward with every possible opportunity. And I think that, again, I mentioned it with the two goals that have been scored by Langstaff. I think that's the only thing he could do there. He's got to go for goal. There weren't too many options in the area, but again, Gateshead just cutting through. It's all coming through that front three. You mentioned the chance for Campbell before his first touch. Has just got to be a little bit better and get out in front of him, because with his pace, the defender ain't catching him.
Well, so about to go into the 19th minute here at Gateshead International Stadium. It's 2-0. What a start it's been. Macaulay Langstaff.
It genuinely could have been 4 or 5.
It really could. And as I say, we just hope you're enjoying it at home if you're of a Gateshead persuasion. But Guiseley now have the ball at the feet, and it is Mbeka tries to get it in there, but only picks out a Gateshead shirt in Nicholson, who gets the ball out to Kedwin Scott, who keeps it in, nearly wins the ball back, and now Guiseley have the ball on the edge of the box to play it inside. Oh, well, the idea was good from Grattan, but he couldn't pick out his teammate, and out it goes But you see, Guiseley, they're not here to make up the numbers. They're still trying to get back into the game.
Took the words out of my mouth there. The right idea, but just poor execution. Yeah, you know, just a word on Louis Story. We shouldn't forget. I think this is only his third game at this level. And I know he's played in Newcastle's academy, played in the reserves there, but he just looks as if he's strolling through this.
Yeah, that's in the last game. He's got a very similar style and movement to Mike Williamson, and in set pieces when they're in amongst, it's hard to decipher who's who. But he's really come in and. He's stepped up with ease so far against the competition he's played against.
Can I just add, though, the woolly hat's a no from me?
Yes, if you looked on social media, you will have seen there was a beautiful sky blue woolly hat. A little bit early for a woolly hat, though, I would have said.
I don't know today.
Yeah, today
very cold.
It certainly is. Well, so we've got lots of people tuned in. Thank you very much for joining us. It's Gateshead 2, Guiseley 0, but Guiseley are on the attack now as Grattan plays it across, and if Guiseley player gets a second chance and deflection over for a corner, and well, hopefully Gateshead can defend this one.
Sloppy from Bailey there. He's been caught in midfield. Obviously, the communication wasn't quite there, though. Someone's got to tell him he's got a man closing him down. It's a bit of a let-off that, you know, if the first touch again was better by the striker, he's in.
Well, let's see. It is going to be Nicholson who comes over for Guiseley to take this corner. We're into the 21st minute. Lots of people just joining us here. Thank you very much. It is Gateshead 2, Guiseley 0. There's a lot of players in the 6-yard box here, making life difficult for the goalkeeper as this one comes in towards the back post. Ben Sharif was there with Chapman.
Done well there.
Got his arm out and just palmed that away for another corner on the far side. But Ben Sharif was lurking.
Do you know, I watched Guiseley last season when they won at Spennymoor. They won, and it was 2-0 there. And this is what they do. They make the most of set pieces. They're a big side, and they will try and bully Gateshead from set pieces.
There isn't much space in that 6-yard box, and you've got a few Guiseley players about to run in as well to go towards this. This one goes towards the back post again. Too much on it, and Ben Sharif is chasing it down, and it's going to go out for a throw-in next to the corner flag. But yeah, very dangerous stuff from Guiseley.
I should probably add, I'm not trying to pigeonhole them as a set piece side, because that night they were fantastic going forwards as well. And,
yeah.
One of the key players is now at Spennymoor, John Foodie, who did
Macaulay Langstaff is battling down in front of the dugout, so his appeals for a throw, but he comes away with the ball himself. And if he looks up, he's got Campbell on the far side, but he does well. He manages to, well, referee says no. It seemed like he was clipped after he let the ball go, but it's going to be is it throw-in to Gateshead? Yeah. I don't see where it would have went out, but
unless it's curled out and come back. Yeah,
it must have done. But yeah. But Macaulay Langstaff, he isn't just up there to score goals. He's here to work deep in the midfield for Gateshead as well. Well, it's throw-in just in front of the Guiseley dugout.
It's been better in the last 5 minutes from Guiseley. They've kind of got themselves back into this game, haven't they?
They certainly have. Well, they had to, because it could have become a rout, and certainly got back into the game as Matty Jacobs wins the ball back, and there's a couple of tasty challenges going in as the ball's played forward for Grattan to run onto.
Great cover.
And well, Robbie Tinkler, and he's returned to Tyneside. He's not only scoring goals, but he's stopping them as well. Yeah,
it's really intelligent there from Robbie Tinkler. He's just read that pass that's gone in behind. Was it Kane Felix that got him? No, it wasn't. Who got him behind? Grattan got him behind, and he's read it brilliantly and just got the ball away.
Well, there was another late tackle there, you would have said, from behind, and referee letting a couple of these ones go.
Well, it's not a foul. He's won the ball there. It's a good tackle on Nicholson.
Yeah. Well, Ben Sharif has the ball just outside his box. He carries it forward about 10 yards, but lays it off to Nicholson, who gives it all the way back to Guiseley goalkeeper, who clears it out and out of play on the far side just inside the Gateshead half. And well, that's it. 24 minutes gone. It's a good day at the office so far for Gateshead, but a long way to go yet. And Mike Williamson with his assistant Ian Watson just down there on the touchline. They're deep in conversation and pointing to different areas of the pitch. They're looking for improvement all the time. As the ball gets to Kedwin Scott, lays off to Ollie, and a lovely ball through to Matty Jacob. who plays the ball across, and it's got to fall to Campbell. He wasn't expecting it to land at his feet like that, and the touch just took it into the goalkeeper's hands. But wow, that was a lovely little ball in there. I think there might have been a slight deflection, but Campbell, unfortunately, it just didn't sit up for him, did it?
There was just a little nick, and that little nick has just forced Campbell to stumble. And as he stumbled, he just put the ball in the keeper's hands. It's unfortunate.
Matty Jacobs has given a good
That's a
showing
ball,
at the
by
moment.
the way.
And yeah, it's not. It hasn't been given.
It came back off 9.
Well, see Grattan, he's putting a shift in up there. Small forward, very much in the same build and size as Campbell. But Mbeka is going to be taking a long throw here, and they're packing the box just on the edge of the 6-yard area. As this ball comes in, it's high. It's going to go towards the front end. Ben Sharif heads it on, but Macaulay Langstaff just laces that one up the pitch, so Gateshead can get their shape and get higher up the pitch.
Surprised they didn't go in the way he started this game.
Oh, well, I said that Ben Sharif is still up there, tries to nod it on, and well, Kedwin Scott tried to backheel that, but Mbeka manages to come away with it. And now Felix nearly got through with the ball there with deflection, but Chapman clears it up. The young Australian goalkeeper on loan from Huddersfield for the year. He joined us on the Heed Army podcast, and a lovely lad. If you'd like to see that interview with him, and it looks like there's been a clash of heads there between Owen Bailey and I can't see exactly who that is down there. I think it might be Cantrell. That's down. So hopefully he'll get up and be all right. Yes, it is Cantrell.
I do love the August bank holiday games, but it's normally a lot warmer than what it is.
It certainly is. I mean, it has been very drizzly. We're getting a lot of different weathers here at the moment. The only thing we haven't had is snow, but I don't want to tempt that. But we are getting a blue sky above Gateshead International Stadium now. The track is starting to dry up somewhat, but I wouldn't be shocked if another shower came in every so often.
Blue sky.
So, yeah.
Blue sky at the left of us, and clouds to the right.
It certainly is. And, well, there's a couple of players taking the chance to get a little bit of water on board there. Well, Cantrell and Bailey are going to have to go off on the far side there. I think when it's a head injury, they have to go off, isn't it? Just as precaution. So, both players just getting the checks there. I think they'll both be all right to come on. They've just had their bell rung a little bit. But the ball's with Chapman, and he's going to take a kick here. Well, it's been dropped at his feet by the referee, so he can pick it up now because he had pressure from the Guiseley forwards, and all the players are back on the pitch, safe and sound, thankfully. As Chapman puts a curling ball to Jacob, and in the middle, it's been brought down, and well, Owen Bailey was dispossessed, but what a beautiful ball from Ollie, and just good reading from the defender. It just didn't have the legs to get to Womble on the far side, but you can see a little bit more intensity coming from Guiseley now as they try to build to get something into this game before half time.
They've had a good spell, haven't they, building up towards this half-hour mark, and not really too much trouble at the moment for Chapman, and Gateshead are holding the formation in front of them and staying disciplined, but they're certainly getting on top of it.
Ollie wins the ball back now, but he gets it fortunately, and now Langstaff drops deep to help and gives it to Robbie Tinkler, and Gateshead can just calm it down and play it across the back as now Nicholson receives the ball. Looks to carry the ball forward a few yards, checks his run, passes it back to Lewis Story. Now it's back across to the other side of the pitch to Tinkler. And the way Gateshead are playing at the minute is very reminiscent of the Gary Mills build-up play there when they used to play out from the back. And I say it's not too shabby on the eye at the moment because, as I say, unlike the Gary Mills brand of football, which of course was very successful, got us to Wembley, we didn't have the target men up the other end once we got the ball up the pitch. But at the moment we do, and nicely intercepted by Tinkler, finds Campbell. Campbell happy to.
It's just patient and measured, though. It's not. They're not panicking if they're put under pressure, and there's always options. And people talk about the passing game, but it only works if people are moving, and there's plenty of movement ahead of them. And not just the front three, by the way. Ollie and Bailey are trying to manoeuvre Guiseley around. Really intelligent play from Gateshead. Helps when you got a goalkeeper and play from the back as well.
It certainly does. And also the wing backs as well have both been involved. Matty Jacob a little bit more than Womble on the far side, but you can see he's ready to pounce on something if it comes through. And it just adds that extra dynamic. Of course, we were playing the 4-3-3 last week and missed the wing back play a little bit because obviously we were used to it. But it showed the diversity of the squad that they can play with the force back. And now Kedwin Scott gets the ball in the middle and gives it to Owen Bailey, who carries the ball forward. He's under pressure from Felix, and the referee says play on there. Another tackle from behind. Must have got contact with it, but there's quite a few from behind going in at the moment from Guiseley, as the ball is with Mbeka, who was good. Now he plays it on to Regan Hutchinson, who drives in with the ball, and Lewis Story wins the ball back, where it hasn't been fully cleared yet by Gateshead. Now Ollie can try and stand. Was he fouled? He was.
Intelligent play from Ollie there.
He knew he wasn't going to get away with the ball and just got his body in front of the player, and he was brought down. It was Grattan.
Got to be honest, I think the referee actually missed a foul in the middle of the pitch there. It looked like when Ollie was trying to close down, he was blocked off by midfielder. Clever play from Guiseley, I guess you would call it. You know,
I think there might be a booking, and it might go either way. There's a couple of rash challenges going in there. They've made the challenges, they've won the ball, but you know, it's a slick surface out there, and well, hopefully it doesn't happen, but you can kind of see something might bubble over. But there's some. So it's nice to see a physical game where it isn't a game that's played with any malice. It's both teams trying, both teams doing it the right way, and no players rolling about either when they've been tackled.
Gateshead just dropped those high standards a little bit in the last 10.
Yeah.
And, we know what Mike and Ian are about as a management team. They want the standards kept high, and they'll be a little bit underwhelmed by that.
Gateshead have been very based down this left-hand side. I think they'd be liking to see a bit more happen down the right-hand side, although having said that, the goals come from the right-hand side. But now Ollie can try and get the ball to a teammate as Bailey.
Two good tackles there from Bailey. That'll do him the world of good.
Yeah. See, the first goal come from the right-hand side, didn't it, when Macaulay Langstaff ran down and drove into the box. But, yeah, it's been looking to see a few more players getting involved. I think Gateshead has just went a little bit quiet up the top end, hasn't it?
What a ball that is. Oh,
unfortunately for Campbell, it just didn't stick to him, but the credit to Brad Nicholson for Guiseley, he was there to pounce on it. But now Gateshead intercept the ball, gives it across to Matty Jacob, who doesn't have much in front of him to pass it on yet, and he has to just turn and give it to Nicholson. Yeah, the movement there up front wasn't the greatest, but the guys, they're holding a good shape there. And
I think Kedwin Scott's made a run in behind, hasn't he, down the left-hand side, but just delayed it too much. And that's a good ball, He's doing it again.
Here it's a Matty Jacob on the left-hand side. Now he puts a dangerous whip ball in. Macaulay Langstaff. He caught it with the side of his temple, tried to aim it towards goal. It probably went about 5 to 6 yards wide, but you wouldn't put it past him to put that in the back of the net. But Matty Jacob again showing what he can do going forward.
And Louis Story showing his crossfield passing again, because that was a lovely ball out wide. It's a great first touch from Jacob, and you just can't defend a cross like that. I tell you what, Langstaff will be disappointed he hasn't at least hit the target there.
Well, he's finding himself at the right time, at the right place at the right time. And you would fancy him to get a hat-trick here this afternoon if he carries on playing the way he is. But Mbeka beaten in the air by Jacob, and Gateshead trying to win the ball back. And Kedwin Scott was tackled from behind again there. And you can just see one of these getting mistimed.
I've got to be honest, the ones that we've seen so far I don't think were fouls, but that one certainly was. He's kicked through Kedwin Scott to get to the ball.
Just feel that obviously as I say, there weren't fouls, but there was quite a few of them coming in, more than what you would normally see. But if they're well timed and done right, they're all right. But I just felt one might get mistimed in time. But the ball comes over the top now. Bailey chasing Ben Sharif down. The keeper sees that out. But oh no, Bailey's kept it in. The referee says it went out, but that was close, very close. We couldn't say one way or another from here, but that's that's your defensive midfield player getting up there. Well, when the team's playing like this, you would imagine the likes of Dan Ward and Paul Blackett and even Connor Panny would like to get involved in this.
Well, I don't think we'd even look towards subs yet, because the 11 on the pitch are doing exactly what's required at the moment.
Well, as Grattan has a ball, can it keep it in? We'll just go quickly through some score lines in the National League North. AFC Fylde are drawing 1-1 at home to Stockport. Brackley Town are winning 1-0 away to Leamington. Boston are winning 1-0 away to Bradford Park Avenue. Blythe are winning 1-0 away to Farsley. Gateshead 2-0, of course. Kidderminster are beating Chester 1-0. And I think, if I look down here, it is Spennymoor 1, York 1. So that is how it is at the moment, as Matty Jacob in amongst players there, beating two of them, but unfortunately ran into a third, and that's going to be a free kick here. But Matty Jacob, he's enjoying himself.
He is, but I think he's just got a little bit too excited there. He's trying to take on one too many. The ball was on to release. He's got Campbell out wide. He's got Langstaff making a run. He's done brilliantly, don't get me wrong. It's great confidence from the young lad, but time in the pass, just release it.
Well, this is where we know Guiseley are dangerous. They've got some big men in that side, and Ben Sharif is up there, and Becker, and it's going to be number 8, I think it is, Cantrell, or number 3, Nicholson, that's going to whip this one in. Well, it's Nicholson, puts it in right towards the penalty spot, but it bounces through straight to...
ball on if he does it.
Yeah, I think he's just closed down there by Ben Sharif.
Kedwin Scott was one up top.
Yeah, he was flying. But let's see, Gateshead can just build here from the back.
I'll tell you, it's one thing Gateshead have done really well over the last few years, is that using the loan system for goalkeepers. You look at Brad James and Ainsley Pears, and looks like they've got another one here, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And as I mentioned, we spoke to him on the Heat Army podcast, a very level-headed young man, obviously on the other side of the world from where he was born, away from his family and friends, and just shows you the caliber of the person to be able to do that at that age. And not only that, he's enjoying his football, and said he's settled up here very quickly in the northeast, which is nice to know. He said settled in quicker here than what he did initially at Huddersfield, but I suppose that's probably because he's been in the UK a little bit longer, but it's nice to know that he's happy here. And well, Saturday's performance, that magnificent double save, shows that he's very capable as well. Well, Nicholson just happy to slow this down and play it back to Chapman. And hopefully if any of his family are listening in from Australia, your boy's not doing too badly at the moment. You can message in, let us know where you listen from. As the ball nearly got through there to Macaulay Langstaff, but Hull had to...
It's on every time.
Well, now Macaulay Langstaff receives the ball and goes for an audacious one there. And, well, his confidence is high, but so was the shot. And, well, I say it is Gateshead 2, Farsley 0. Farsley, Guiseley. I'm on one of them days today. Guiseley 0. We're entering the 38th minute. And, well, let's see, Gateshead, they'll be very happy with what they've done. They've rid a little bit of Guiseley pressure, and they'll be wanting to finish the half like they started it. They'll want to get that ball back into the Guiseley box.
Yeah, as I say, it's just... Oh, that's a...
Well, and Becker there went on Bailey, was it? Yeah, Bailey's down, who he's definitely got more involved in the game this week compared to last week on his debut, but yeah, he's...
The thing with Owen Bailey, right, and I spoke to him last week for a piece coming out over the next week or so. The determination from that lad to prove a few people wrong is more than I've seen in a lot of players throughout the years. And he's captained Newcastle's under-23s for the last 2 years. He's also had some pretty serious injuries over the last 2 years. So it's going to take him time to get back into that routine of playing on a regular basis. But he'll become a big player for this football club if he's given time, and I'm sure he will be.
Well, see, starting in the right way at the moment. We've got a message from Alan Bray, Neil's mum, listening in from Croatia. So thank you very much for joining us. Lovely to have you tune in this afternoon, and hopefully Gateshead can continue the way they are going as Womble passes the ball into the box. It's going to come through. Oh, I tell you what, Regan Hutchinson had to put that out because who was lurking? It was Kedwin Scott. But that was a lovely ball in there.
Do you know, if you look, we'll talk about the strength of the Gateshead squad. So they rested a few today, and there's players not even in the squad that were starting over the last 2 years. So many options available.
Well, Ollie, the captain, is going to take this corner here. Down to the left-hand side in front of the main
something
stand.
Planned here. Look at the edge of the box. There's definitely something planned here.
There's a lot of movement. That's it. Campbell checks his run and he's on the edge of the box, goes for a curling shot. Just couldn't get over the top of it, and over it goes. But as you say, that was the movement there. They all thought the Gateshead players were going to move forward. Campbell just took a step back and ran to the side. Well, Gateshead fans in fine voice at the moment, the back of the Tyne-and-Wear stand. And some other goals around the northeast. South Shields are winning 2-0 away to Scarborough. And a little bit higher up, back into the National League North. Darlington are winning 1-0 away to Kirch National.
We'll be seeing South Shields on Saturday. They play Shildon in the FA Cup.
That'll be a very good game. Shildon have started their season very well after their promotion from the National League. And some impressive goals as well.
Yeah, Danny Croggs.
Well, Guiseley really starting to add a bit of pressure here, trying to close Gateshead down from building at the back. But it didn't really work that well as Ollie pings the ball out to Tinkler, who finds Campbell in turn. And can it be? Oh, Owen Bailey has the ball.
Such a good build-up play.
Patience is key, and the movement has been second to none. Well, Gateshead go forward as now Matty Jacob plays it inside to Campbell, who leaves it for Ollie. Beautiful ball through for Jacob to try and run onto, but Regan Hutchinson has been.
He's done well, done very well there. Hutchinson,
the last few Gateshead attacks, Regan Hutchinson's been there to try and break it down, but Grattan plays it inside, and now Campbell.
Bailey.
Now Kedwin Scott drives into the box, just checks his run a little bit. He's got support from Ollie. Ollie, can he cross this ball in? He takes touch two, manages to get it across. I thought that first touch initially had took it too far on the dead ball line. He manages to get a shot off and he wins a corner.
I think everyone's expecting him just to play that in the box, but in towards the 6-yard box. But that little touch past the defender was so cute.
Well, see,
did we Story come to take it?
I think he's given instructions there for this one. We'll have to see how this one comes in. Well, Ollie goes towards the back post. It's headed clear and volleyed clear by Guiseley. Nicholson's there just to play it all the way back to Chapman, who's got plenty of time, chests it down and lays it off to Robbie Tinkler. Tinkler can play it across to Nicholson. Guiseley players chasing shadows at the moment. As now Nicholson can play it inside to Ollie. Back to Nicholson. The Olays are coming from the back of the stand as Nicholson just has to turn around, lay it back off to Ollie, who carries the ball forward himself, beats his man, gets it to Jacob, back to Ollie. And a beautiful ball for Macaulay Langstaff. He's onside, but he needs some support. He drives into the box. Can he get this ball across? He can. And cleared. And that was some beautiful stuff again from Gateshead.
I'm going to just quickly say it's a little early for the Olays, but that was some sensational football from Gateshead there.
Well, York have took the lead away to Spennymoor. It's 2-1. As now Matty Jacob gives it to Kedwin Scott, who gives it to Nicholson. Nicholson looks to play it across the far side to Womble. Lovely vision. He brings the ball down well. Now Campbell has the ball. Plays the ball through for the run of Womble. Puts it across. No! And we've said it a few times in commentary before, but that was Gazaresk of 96. He slid in. The ball went past him. All he needed was an extra inch on his studs, and that was in the back of the net. But yet again, Gateshead just carving open chances here.
That ball from Adam Campbell to Womble was unbelievable. The weight on it was just perfect. And it's a great cross, It really is.
Well, Womble's...
I don't know if Langstaff's hurt himself, actually. He's hobbling a little bit.
Well, let's hope there's just a slight strain. But credit to Womble. He's come in here making his debut, and, he's shown that he's more than competition for the right wing-back stuff from Robbie Tinkler at the moment.
Well, Tinkler's done very well, by the way. It's a poor ball. at right centre back.
Campbell. Ball played off him for a throw-in on the far side. It's certainly impressive stuff at the moment. And Gateshead very good value for their lead going into half-time. We've got about 44th minute. We might have 1 or 2 minutes added on here for the head injury earlier on. But let's say, is famous question though, but is half-time coming at the wrong time for Gateshead? Do you think they could do with getting another one before half-time?
No.
So Langstaff tries to close one down, but Ben Sharif manages to clear it to Regan Hutchinson, who drives forward over the halfway lane. He's got Grattan in front of him, plays it out to Mbeka, and Mbeka now has Matty Jake for company, manages to get past him, but had to pass it back to Regan Hutchinson. Ollie's there to help out with the defensive duties, but he got past him, and he's going to take down dead ball line, pulls it back, but he went for a shot. But
really poor.
Yeah.
He's done brilliantly to get the byline. Brilliantly, and just to put it straight in the keeper's hands. To go quickly back to your question about half-time, I think it'll come at the right time for Gateshead, because I think Williamson and Mike Williamson and Liam Watson will want to get the players in and just remind them of, as I said earlier, the standards that they demand of the players, because there's been little points when they have...
Langstaff is offside there.
When they've just fallen a little bit short of them. It hasn't been very often, but they'll want something a bit better.
Certainly will. Well, we'll see it. That's the normal time up, and we're about to see the board come up to tell us how many minutes. And, well, it is 2 minutes. Well, free kick on the far side to Guiseley. Once again, apologies for the first half there. Beginning the first few minutes of the match where we had a technical difficulty, but we hope you're enjoying the commentary thus far. And the ball comes over. Matty Jacob wins it. Kedwin Scott just volleys that up the pitch, but Gateshead can win the ball back. Tinkler puts a ball over the top for the runner Langstaff, and just unfortunately that goes out on the far side. But as a whole, there can't be too many complaints from Gateshead. As I say, we know the very high standards that we've talked about, and they'll just want, as you said, want to remind the players at half-time that if we focus on what we do, we'll get it done.
Just got to go out and replicate what they did in the first half when they come out for the second half, because it's been excellent.
Well, ball's going to go all through Chapman.
You look and no one's... Obviously, you pick out Langstaff, but I think everyone's played their part, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. And, well, let's see. I think this is probably all that we're going to get for the first half here. Although the referee hasn't looked at his watch yet. Kedwin Scott brings it down. Becky puts it out for a throw into Gateshead. The ball over the top for Kedwin Scott. And bounces nicely for him. He's got time to bring it down. Puts a first time cross across, and just, well, the wind. We'll say the wind carried it behind. But a good kick.
That's generous. We can say it carried it behind. Yeah. But it didn't.
Remember, listeners, please do share the commentary wherever you're listening, and with other Gateshead fans, and hopefully we can get some more tuning in for the second half. As if it's anything like the first half, it'll be very enjoyable. As the goal kick is taken, and that is half time. It's 2-0 to Gateshead here. And Mike Williamson goes down across the running track down towards the tunnel, but he can't have too many complaints.
Far from it, no. It's been a very, very good half. Langstaff is undoubtedly the star for those two fantastic goals. But you look at the amount of chances that have been created. I really like the balance in midfield between Bailey and Greg Ollie. There's kind of power in there. There's poise. There's clever passing. There's work rate. The back three look comfortable. We mentioned earlier there's options off the bench, isn't there? And it's a really positive 45 minutes. Not trying to put a dampener on things, but it is only 45 minutes. We've got a long way to go in this game, and they can't drop below those standards we've been talking about. And that'll be the message of, no doubt, will be related to the players at half time. Maybe just be a little bit more clinical in the second half, and the chances that have been created and the times when they have got into the good areas, at times that the final option being taken hasn't been the right one, and I think that's what they'll look to improve second half, because this game could have been out of sight by now.
Well, as I say, there's still lots of football to be played and lots of chances to be made. Hopefully, we'll see you back with us. We'll be just going to go off air so we can go to the toilet. Well, we're not going off air. We're just going to turn the mics off.
We're not going to the toilet together, we should say.
No, we're not going to do that. We've learned our lesson off last season. Right, we'll be back very soon. And remember, please do share the stream.
There is a 200
I mean, when you think of Saturday now, when they've got Leah's goal, you think, oh, you know what I mean? Well, that's life, isn't it? Go on then. Get them into the second half.
Well, if anyone could let us know that we are definitely on air for the start of the second half, it would be lovely and appreciated if you could let us know that you can hear us. Well, we were just speaking to Paul Dixon there, Mark. Obviously, he loves his football. He's very excited about it. And as I say, plenty to be excited about.
Well, there is, because Gateshead are playing a style of football and a brand of football that gets you excited. You know, they're in possession, the movement's good, there's a good togetherness about them. They're everything a football side should be at the minute. And I think when you put it all together, it's just it's a good mix, isn't it? And you look at the leadership that they've got in there in terms of Mike Williamson and Ian Watson. It's just calm, it's collected. There's, the highs aren't too high and the lows aren't too low. There's a nice balance to that. The thing is now, they've set the standards in the first half, and they've got to meet them second half. There can be no slacking off. I don't think they'll be allowed to slack off. They've got to go out and do exactly what they did in the first half and the second half, and just be a bit more of a cut and thrust about them at the top end of the pitch. Because I think when I look at the way they've cut through Guiseley at times, it's been a little bit too easy. Yeah. And I think Gateshead have now got to go on and get an early goal to kill this game off, and then go and really entertain after that.
Well, we've we'll put that one back up there. We had a message from H. Woodholly, great commentary, lads. Well, thank you very much. And we've got one from Caden R. Libbard. Come on, Heed, Huddersfield fan. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the commentary. And see, your boy Jacob Chapman is putting a fine display so far. And, well, as I say, we're just waiting for the teams to come back up. We think there is going to be a substitution. There was one Guiseley player who isn't actually, his number isn't down, but he was quite heavily training there during the break. But as I say, we'll inform you of any change as it happens, and hopefully we'll find out who he is. If his name does correspond to a name.
Remember that blue sky we were talking about first.
Oh, yes. It's the drizzle is coming back in here at Gateshead International Stadium. And I was speaking to a family member before I came to the game, and I said, "You're not taking an umbrella?" Because obviously it was drizzling. I said, "You don't get wet in the Tyne Weir stand." I think only once or twice have I ever had rain blowing towards the commentary position. Well, today's a third time, so we are getting a little bit of drizzle, but it isn't spoiling our afternoon here as Gates have come back out onto the pitch. So Greg Holly deep in conversation with his assistant manager Ian Watson. He'll be wanting to remind him of his duties, and he's out there to pass their instructions on and drive the team forward. In this second half, we'll be shooting from left to right, and hopefully Macaulay Langstaff might get another one. It'd be great to see him get a hat-trick for his hard work that he's put in so far this afternoon.
Yeah, it seems harsh picking anyone out, but he has been the star man, as I said, at half-time, and just looks so full of confidence, and he's trying things. I don't think Macaulay Langstaff last season would have tried that second goal, to curl it in the way he did, and let's be honest, it went well wide of the far post before it curled back inside. It's an outrageous effort, really, and we're kind of in a perfect angle for it here, aren't we? We saw how far out wide it went before it came in. It's a great finish, and he just looks like he can get in behind every time. And as I say, they need to make the most of the space that's being left in behind, because Guiseley have pushed quite high, and there's a lot of space to get in behind. Gateshead just need to be a little bit more patient with those runs.
Well, it looks like we are going to see a substitution here, unless it's a shirt change. Is there anything I can think of? No, there is a substitution. I cannot see who he's replacing just yet. We'll get the board up, but we don't know who his actual name is, because there isn't number 18 on the substitutes bench on here on the team sheet. So he's replacing Mbeka, who's, to be honest, one of the shining lights in the Guiseley's side in the first half. Big, strong, and obviously must have took a knock, or they fancy a change in formation here. But it looks like number 18, whoever he is going to be playing up top. But Gateshead are going to be kicking off here, and Adam Campbell stands on the ball in the centre spot here. And a good crowd here of 867, higher than last week, and getting treated to a delightful game of football so far, Mark.
Well, look, 867 is a decent crowd, but the way the football's being played here, that there should be four figures comfortably. You'd like to think the public in Gateshead and in the northeast will come and get behind this side because it's the most entertaining.
Well, Owen Bailey wins the header, but he was fouled in the process, and it's a free kick to Gateshead just inside their own half.
Probably the most entertaining football the National Stadium has seen, as you said, since Gary Mills, and possibly even more than that.
Well, there's a little bit of a discussion between Cantrell. He's not happy. He doesn't feel that it was a foul. Referee's still talking to him.
I'm not really sure it needs a talking to.
Unless it was his reaction afterwards. That's the only thing I can think of, because it was a 50-50, but he left himself into that one, full-blooded.
Referees would never stop talking to people.
Well, Gateshead of trying to take it 10 yards inside the other half when it wasn't there. But still stealed about 4 or 5 foot here. Taking it on the halfway line as Greg Ollie stands over it. He looks to get this into the box as he pumps this one over towards Womble, but it's been brought down by Campbell. First time crossing to the box, falls to Ollie. Now Owen Bailey puts it out to the far side. That's lovely stuff. Can Jacob cross the ball in and lays it off to McCoy Langstaff, who tries to beat his man? And well, was that a back pass there?
It would have been harsh, but
it would have been harsh. But now it's ruled out towards Brad Nicholson, who carries the ball forward, and Macaulay Langstaff chases him down, wins the ball, and now Gateshead can try and build again here. Owen Bailey puts the ball out to the right-hand side. Campbell puts a deep cross in, too deep, and out it goes for a goal kick.
Langstaff's pulled up here.
He did stretch in for that one there, and he did kind of do a similar thing in the first half, didn't he? But
possibly his thigh.
Yeah, he's pulled his short leg up there to rub the back of the thigh, but he's moving all right in the minute. I think he's just testing it out. Hand on the thigh again there.
I mean, you've got an obvious option on the bench, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or, someone like Dan Ward could come on as well, but I think it'd be Paul Blackett.
Imagine it'd be like for like as Tinkler tries to play this one down the right-hand side, but out it goes. 3 minutes into the first half, it's still Gateshead 2, Guiseley 0.
Second half.
Did I say first half there? Hey, it's children and potty training. That's the only thing I'm going to say is I was up a fair bit throughout the night.
Dave, how old are you? You're not being potty trained yet.
Well, what can I say? I try to blame the kids. It's just on myself. Brad Nicholson plays it into the feet of Campbell, but he manages to win the ball back, and Campbell needs to be careful because he's pulling on, and there's a bit of a fight going on here, and Campbell needs to be very, very careful. It looks a little bit needless, and it's Canbags. At the moment, Cantrell's got involved, and Campbell needs to be very, very careful here.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what's happened there.
Well, Campbell, there was a push from the hand out to keep Campbell at bay, trying to win the ball back. And as Campbell went down, he pulled the shirt, and then it went on from there. Now, the linesman was very close in front of it.
Referee still hasn't spoken to him, though. I think it'll just be a ticking off.
You would hope so, but Campbell did seem to be the instigator there. So the linesman hasn't had his 2 penneth here. So
it's horrible the way he's holding that, because you can see
the red card. I was about to say.
I think it is just the way he's holding it.
Yeah, he's got his notepad. His cards on the back of the notepad there, and Ben Sharif wants to get involved. Referee's telling him to get away, but I do fear here. I do actually fear.
I think it'll be yellows.
Well, the fans getting involved. Yellow card for both players, and well, it's needless from both players. That's one thing I'll say. Passions are high. They were both battling for the ball there. Campbell being held off as he went in to try and win the ball back, and as he went down, he pulled the shirt, and then
just hold on a second.
I think Campbell could.
Nope. Coming out for the second half.
Well, the referee wants. No, I thought you wanted a word with somebody else. He had spoke to the linesman there.
Yeah, nothing given.
No.
That's a very high line from Gateshead here for this free kick, by the way.
Yes, the ball
Offside.
played over the top, and number 10 manages to keep it in. The youngster, Metcalf, making his debut. Well, I hope Gateshead can keep the composure here, because the first bit of, well, I'm saying proper scrappiness of what we've seen, and Guiseley, I'll be happy that it's disrupted Gateshead's game, is now carried forward by Felix. Felix plays it out to Metcalf. Metcalf plays it forward for Felix to run onto. Sorry, it isn't Felix, it's Capolo. Well, Ben Sharif, and he's beaten. And
tell you what. Oh, wow.
Oh, my word. Well, he's given for a push. Now, I can, from my angle, it looked like Langstaff just ran round him. There was no push. He put up and handled the ball himself. I can only think if from our angle, I couldn't see it, but
I've got to be honest, I think he just handballed it.
I thought he handballed it, and then, well, don't want to be a rose-tinted commentator here, but the whole stand behind us didn't say that either.
He's offside, by the way.
Yeah, well, the ball's been played forward, and now number 18, the substitute, he's twisting and turning to beat a man, and Campbell hasn't been cleared yet, and nodded down, nearly fell to a player on the far side, but a Gateshead leg hooked it clear, and Gateshead need to get this ball higher up the pitch, as now to try to be played for Langstaff, but intercepted by Hutchinson, who managed to get past Bailey, and the referee is starting to pull it up for challenges here. I mean, he's telling everyone to calm down.
It's got 10 yards back as well, by the way.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we're starting to see Guiseley dictate the game with a little bit of physicality here. Cantrell tries to play it through. Langstaff, who was absolutely barged there from behind, but now hook clear by Tinkler. Langstaff going to chase this down. Hasn't went out yet. Hutchinson having to chase it. Langstaff gets past his man. He's still going. That's a good play from Langstaff. He's going to cross it across. And he has to take a shot. And now, why
hasn't Langstaff gone his own?
I thought Langstaff would have shot there. He was bearing down on goal on a decent angle. It wasn't too tight, but he decided to play it across to Kedwin Scott, who just got the ball stuck under his feet.
Still hobbling.
Yeah. And, well, I think we might start to see, we've got Blackett warming up and Dan Ward at the moment. But, that was a great opportunity to have another shot, I thought, for Langstaff. But unselfish, he played it across to Kedwin. Well, end-to-end stuff, but Gateshead certainly more happier in possession. About to enter the 9th minute of the second half here. Regan Hutchinson seems to be all over the pitch at the moment. He's on the far side there. Ball played forward, and Nicholson just nods that out of play on the far side. Well, Langstaff seems to be moving all right now, but you fear if he opens up, he might have another twinge, but you just hope it's nothing serious. He seems to be moving all right now. But Gateshead sitting very high line, and the ball's going to be played over the top again here, up towards number 18. Womble did well to get win the ball, and that was Owen Bailey went down
great
there
ball.
And put the ball up the top towards Kedwin Scott, and he brings it down very well. He's got Hull in front of him for company. Tried to stride past Hull and manages to keep the hold of the ball, crosses it over. It's going to fall to Campbell. Oh, lovely block there. Put his body on the line to Nicholson for Guiseley. And Gateshead, well,
that was unquestionably going inside that far post.
Well, as soon as Campbell got his laces on it, I thought that was going to be buried into the back of the net, but credit has to go to Brad Nicholson there. He just put his body in line, quickly taken. Now back to Ollie, who the ball goes over. Goalkeeper didn't see the ball coming till the last minute. I thought his defender was going to head it clear, and now Felix can try and bring the ball away and Gateshead win the ball back. It's good pressing football from Gateshead. Can they get the ball in the box? Kedwin Scott on the far side takes out dead ball line, crosses it across keeper. Well, the keeper didn't get anywhere near that, and now it's with Langstaff on the other side of the box. Now Can Matt Jacob cross a ball in and didn't get the connection he wanted? And Ollie gets the ball on the edge of the box again. Gateshead piling on the pressure, goes for a shot. Oh, great save, but a beautiful strike from the Hull youngster. And well, Gateshead turning the screw here.
They really are as well, and they've got to take advantage here. We're seeing this little conflict again between Story and Ollie. There's clearly a range of set pieces being planned, but that's a great save, you know. I do think he's made it one for the cameras, if I'm honest.
He did, but I mean, before that as well, he misjudged a couple of, tried to get the ball to fist it away and got nowhere near it on 2 occasions, but that was a top draw save.
There's a lot of space at that near post.
Well, in comes this one. Regan Harrison, because it's going to fall to Kedwin Scott. Can he keep it in? He can. Puts it back across. Hits the shins of a Guiseley player, and now Guiseley can try and get the ball higher up the pitch, but lovely pressing play from Tinkler. Gateshead managed to get the ball back, and that's going to be offside. The ball towards Kedwin Scott, but
it's not going out, you know.
Well, Cantrell had to get back then. Macaulay's staff is with him in the corner flag, pressuring him. Strong play from Cantrell, but he has to play the ball forward. Owen Bailey nods the ball down. Campbell gets it to Ollie on the edge of the box. Can he shoot? He's still going with the ball. Gives it to Macaulay Longstaff. Cuts it across. So he went for a shot. Tight angle, and it's been hooked clear by Guiseley, and it's a throw indicated halfway inside their own half. Quickly taken by Womble to Ollie. Got Womble if he needs him. Tries to play it through, and if he had it done, that would have been a lot of space for another throw into Gateshead.
So just need to keep this pressure up. This is good.
Well, you can probably tell by the speed of our voices that the game has intensified here from a Gateshead perspective. And they've won the ball again just inside Guiseley half. And now Matty Jacob just content to pass it back to Chapman. And now that ball headed forward by Metcalf. Story thumps it up towards Hull, who heads it back towards Gateshead defence.
Get down.
And it's up in the air at the moment. Now Womble can try and pick a ball out, and that was just plucked out of the middle of the park there. And now guys can play it across the far side as it's been kept in by Hutchinson, who is really all over the park at the minute. Seems to have a bit of a free rule. Ekpolo having to hold off Ollie Bailey, manages to turn his man, get it to Cantrell. Cantrell lays it back to Ben Shima. Now Brad Nicholson can try and get the ball forward, and that's a nice run from Cantrell. But Tinkler's there and does very well, and he was judged to be fouled in the process. But if you ask me, that was just solid defending.
Winner. It is ticket number 03348. £240 awaits the winner in room 7. If you're not sure where that is, please ask us too.
Well, Dan Ward and Paul Blackett are warming up still. They have been for the past 5-10 minutes. And also there's a big man for Guiseley warming up as well. Can't see his shirt number at all at the moment underneath the penny. But Gateshead drive forward with the ball as Matty Jacobs is playing on the inside there. Can he get the ball over? And he hasn't. Now Guiseley can try and bring the ball forward through Hutchinson. Plays, that would have been offside if that had got through at number 18. But Hutchinson picks up the ball again, puts it out on the far side to Felix. Felix looks to cross this ball into the box. He's got time and space, and he did, but headed clear by Tinkler, only as far as Brad Nicholson, who brings it down, managed to get through the legs of Campbell and got a shot off straight into the hands of...
That's your warning. That's your warning, Gateshead. Just a little bit sloppy there, got in a bit too easily in behind, and it's not a bad effort.
Today at the stadium, 867 fans, including...
Tell you what, he's in here.
Oh, look, only Langstaff on the edge of the box. Was he fouled there by Ben Sharif? Referee says no, and Ben Sharif brings the ball away. Campbell closes him down. Ben Sharif cuts inside, then loses his foot and manages to find a teammate in Cantrell. And that was a soft foul to give away. Crowd showing their appreciation for the referee there as Guiseley are winning 2-1 with 10 men at the moment. Did I say Guiseley? AFC failed. Honest to God, I cannot wait till my son is properly potty trained and I get a full night's sleep. Apologies, dear listeners. It looks like there must be a delayed version, Ashton, or game kicked off late. It's still half time there. Kidderminster are now 2-0 up at home to Chester, and York are still beating Spennymoor 2-1. This ball's played up towards Macaulay Langstaff. Ball headed up in the air by Hull, brought down by Apollo, who twisting and turning. Ball's like glue at his feet in the centre at the moment, and now the ball's played over the top for the run of number 18, and well, Chapman has been given as a corner, and well,
completely missed an offside there, by the way.
It did look that way, didn't it, from this angle? Well, there's a corner on the far side to Guiseley.
Just got a bit sloppy here, Gateshead.
Well, gonna have a corner on the far side here into the 16th minute of the second half. 21 minutes past 4 as the ball comes in. Oh, well, it's managed to be cleared by Gateshead, but they're kind of inviting it on a little bit at the moment, and they're soaking it up, but you don't want to give Guiseley too many chances.
It is again, just Gateshead just dropping off a bit here.
Felix does well on the far side to cross that in, and Nicholson tried to keep it in, but it goes out for a corner, and just uncharacteristical mistakes here from Gateshead at the moment.
The problem is, because it's only a 2-goal lead, if they can get one back, then all of a sudden the nerves go.
There's certainly enough time in this game to score a few goals, but this one comes in. It's all hustle and bustle in the 6-yard box. Keeper fists it clear. Ollie manages to clear it on the second chance, and that's going to be a throw-in on the halfway line to Guiseley. But Gateshead need to get the shape and just try and hold Guiseley off for this wave of pressure that they've had at the moment. Well, Brad Nicholson. Lots of movement in front of him, but he wants to pick out a yellow shirt higher up the pitch as he finds one in acres of space in the middle of the pitch. But Gateshead managed to win the ball back through Bailey. Now Langstaff holds the ball up. He needs some support. As he twists and turns, lays it off to Campbell. If he looks across, he finds Langstaff again. Played inside to Kedwin Scott, who plays the ball over the top. Offside flag goes straight up.
To be fair, I don't think he's catching that anyway.
No, as you mentioned there, no, it is a 2-goal lead, but you would fancy Gateshead to try and see this off with one more goal.
Yeah, as I say, I think one more kills it. And got more than enough firepower there to do that.
With this free kick. Lewis Story heads the ball clear only as far as the Guiseley shirt. Cantrell now plays it through the centre and hasn't been cleared yet by Gateshead, and Lewis Story is the highest man forward in the Gateshead half, but was he fouled there? Yes, he was. Free kick to Gateshead in front of the Guiseley bench. And number 14 is about to come on, Bailey Thompson, and he's another very tall player that's going to be coming on for Guiseley. As the ball's played across the far side, that's lovely and brought down by Matty Jacob. Gives it back now, and Ollie has the ball in the centre of the pitch, plays it back to Lewis Story. It's just using the ball again at the moment. Campbell's passed didn't find its destination, and guys who can try and get forward with this, but the ball drops to Tinkler, who calmly passes it back to Chapman, who pings a ball towards Womble, but just bounced away from him there, and the throw-in quickly taken by Guiseley. Ball played across the box. Number 18, a substitute, gets a shot off, and it falls to Felix on the far side, who will keep it in. Looks across this ball in. It's a dangerous one. It's going long. Can't Womble. Did that go out? It does. It didn't give a corner. The only thing I think is Womble got a slight touch of that.
Definitely Guiseley's best spell of the game, isn't it?
Yeah. Getting it in and around the box a little bit more. And you always fear when you've got a lot of big men like this compacting the 6-yard box that restricts the movement of the goalkeeper. And they've done this from their very first corner. Has been cleared yet by Gateshead. It has now. Guiseley did manage to get a shot off in the crowd, but Macaulay Langstaff clears the ball at far side. And that was a foul off the ball on Campbell. Referee waves it away, unless the players just ran into each other. Seen Campbell and Apollo go down in a heap there as they tried to break. Gateshead, nearly every man back in their own half, but Kedwin Scott nearly read a poor pass, but Guiseley managed to get up the pitch. Tinkler having to battle to clear that one. There's appeals for, don't know if they thought that was a foul, but there's appeals for something. But Gateshead still haven't got this ball clear as now Lewis Story clears it up the right hand side. Chance. But Ollie's going to pick this one in the middle. He needs some support. He manages to pick out Kedwin Scott, just too much on it. And at the moment, those passes that were being found with ease are just starting to evade Gateshead. But it looks like we're going to see Kedwin Scott come off for Paul Blackett. And we're also going to see Ollie Metcalf come off for Bailey Thompson. And he looks like he's going to be a threat for a long ball. Does Bailey Thompson? He's going to be a target man.
So I'm guessing you're looking at Langstaff will go out to the left, Blackett will go up top.
Certainly looks that way as Kedwin Scott gets a good ovation from the Tyne Weir stand as he makes his way off. He's done a lot of running today. He's done a lot of the dirty work. But he'll not be too bothered because his side's 2-0 up at the moment.
I think he's had a good game, Kedwin. He's given an outlet. He's been dangerous when he's been in possession. He's looked to work in with Langstaff and Campbell.
Well, Blackett has looked dangerous when he came off the bench last week in the home game as Farsley have equalised away at home to Blythe Spartans. Just go through to see if find any more scores from the National League North, and can't see any different ones at the moment. Bradford Park Avenue pulled one back against Boston United. It's 2-1 to Boston United there. As the ball's played over the top. Lewis Story's going to be there to just calmly see this back to Chapman, who's under pressure. Plays it back out to Nicholson. Plays it back to Chapman. Chapman clears the ball up towards Blackett.
Good touch.
And now can get it to... Oh, Campbell nearly unleashed Blackett there. And that would have been some
good
goal.
Pressure.
But now Gateshead have the ball back. He's got options around him, Ollie. As he passes the ball in towards Langstaff. Still not finished yet as Blackett got a shot off. But it gets back to Ollie. And Ollie's just dispossessed by Apollo there. Now Cantrell brings the ball forward. Looks to play the ball out to Bailey Thompson. Well, the referee assistant didn't think so. And the ball has been cleared. And, they've got a different outlet to try and hit now, Guiseley going forward in Bailey Thompson. And there has been another goal at Spennymoor. York are winning 3-1, looking to get their first 3 points of the season. And surely securing Steve Watson's job for another week after their poor start. Well, Ben Sharif gets the ball, lays it off to Jake Hull. I think he's on loan from Rotherham.
Well done.
Ball's been cleared there by Lewis Story, out for a throw-in on the far side. We're halfway through the second half here, and Blythe and Farsley both down to 10 men as well in the National League. 3-0 to Kidderminster against Chester. But here, if you just join us, it's Gateshead 2, Guiseley 0, as Guiseley try and cut in from the left, a ball in towards the goalkeeper. Just scoops it into his arms there, does Jacob Chapman. But if you are listening for the first time or you haven't been down to Gateshead this season, we hope to see you very soon here in the Tyne Weir stand. And can't recommend the pies enough. I had the chicken and leek Dixon's pie, beautiful. Oh, lovely bit of little flick there from Tinkler as he had to do connect with that to stop the break into the box from Guiseley. Being clear to throw in on the far side, but Oh yes, the pies. I say, I was talking to a couple of people when I had mine. Very nice.
Still 20 minutes left here.
Certainly is, and you just hope that Gateshead can just try and carve out a couple more decent chances. As Langstaff on the far side gives it to Ollie, back to Langstaff, and now can he drive into the box? He's got Jake Hull in front of him, drives down towards the dead ball, then crosses the ball across. I think he went for a shot actually, but just over the crossbar from a tight angle. And it's Kettering 2, Gloucester 0 at Gloucester. So, say the league hasn't took shape yet, but it's proving. Oh well, the Guiseley haven't had a man. Falls, they haven't had a man sent off.
No, they haven't.
It must have been corrected on my screen here, but
it's a good win.
Well, that was a shirt pull there on Owen Bailey as he's trying to get the ball back, and just a little bit up in the air at the moment. And well, Gateshead win the free kick. Well, number 18, we don't know his name because it's not on the substitute sheet, that number, but he's not very happy with the referee at the moment. Well, Matty Jacob plays inside to Owen Bailey. Turn to Tinkler, who looks up, finds Campbell. Plays the inside there. Ollie brings that down beautifully to the outside of the boot. Plays it out to Womble now. Can Womble cross the ball in? He can. Oh, just deflected out there from the goal, from the Guiseley defender.
Good win.
And that was a good win from Jacob. He went across the top of the foot, I think, of the player, but he won the ball first. And Gateshead now in possession of the ball. Guiseley player still down at the moment, and Ollie puts it out there. But that was a strong tackle. He certainly won the ball, but I think there was a slight noise there of the studs on top of the boot, I think. But strong tackle from Matty Jacob, and he's impressed me this afternoon.
Yeah, I think the thing is, that Gateshead might find this season, because of the style of football they play, it's not the stereotypical National League no style of football. And teams may look at that and they may look to put them off the game and get physical and try and try and get them into
try and bully, for want of a word.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's the right word to use. But I think Gateshead have shown today that they're not willing to be put off by that.
It's a little bit of a similar game to last week, where Gateshead obviously started off the first half on fire, going off a good lead at half time. Second half had to battle it out a little bit, had to soak up a little bit of pressure. But as I mentioned last week, it's a good sight to have to a game like you, because you're not going to steamroll people every week. You're going to have to battle. You're going to have those niggly games where you've got a burly old centre forward that knows how to wind up a defender. And today we've shown good character so far. I mean, we'll not get ahead of ourselves. There's still about, so we've got an injury here, probably about 20 minutes left to play, as you say. And but all the pointers are pointing in the right direction at the moment.
I think that the biggest one is the squad. Yeah, we look, Elliot Forbes not in the squad today, and there's a few others, isn't there, who aren't in, who you'd expect. Jack Hunter, for example, isn't in the squad today.
Danny Greenfield's
not there.
Yeah.
They're three big options to have, and I think what it allows Mike and Ian to do is just they can mix and match. They can pick a side to suit the opposition, or to probably more so to go and win the game rather than focus on the opposition.
And also as well, I think Mike and Ian, the Gateshead management, they said from the start of this season that
good ball.
Oh, lovely ball through to Macaulay Langstaff. Can he keep it in? He can. He needs to get a good delivery into the box as he drives towards the corner of the box, lays it off to Ollie. Gateshead still in possession of the ball. Nicholson back to Ollie. Now Langstaff gives it to, lovely stuff. Can Matty Jacob cross one into the box? He can. In comes Campbell. He had the goal at his mercy, and he puts it wide. It seemed to bobble a little bit, but really, that should have been 3-0.
Well, it's just zipped up off the turf. I think it's come off his studs, to be honest. And it's a great bit of play left-hand side. Great link up. And Adam, we keep talking about standards, but his standards are higher. He'll think he should have scored that.
Yeah. Well, we were talking just before that Gateshead's break there. Gateshead have had the opportunity this year to pick and choose their players, that the transfer targets. Of course, they went early on the strike force, but they've talking to all of the players. You've interviewed quite a few. There's a certain mentality in this squad, isn't there? The calm, the collected, but they're young as well. And if you're talking to Mike Williamson, you'll see he's a very calm and composed person. He thinks about what he's going to say before he opens his mouth. And I think he's implementing that on his squad.
Well, they got a message off.
What was that? Guys on the attack here, and it's going to sit up. Hasn't exactly set up from the way I thought it was, but Gateshead managed to just scramble that one clear. But Ollie can come away with the ball, tries to play the ball forward for Langstaff, but just way too much on it. There's more to relieve pressure than anything else.
I got a message off Gateshead's chairman Neil Pinkerton midway through the first half, and he was saying the average age of the starting lineup was 23, which is as young as Gateshead have had for a long time. That's
certainly is, but now Blackett has the ball, tries to play the ball back out to Langstaff, but Regan Hutchinson was there and a foul has been given. And, well, let's say just under 15 minutes remaining here at Gateshead International Stadium. If you're just joining us, it's Gateshead 2, Guiseley 0. And it's been a very enjoyable game so far. Second half has had to be a little bit more workmanlike. And we've got one here. We used to be there. Are Guiseley playing all right? They're playing a lot better in the second half. They're certainly not out of it, despite the 2-0 scoreline to Gateshead, but long way to go yet.
Yeah, first off, they were kind of blown away a bit, weren't they? But they've stuck at it. And I think this is what Guiseley sides have done during the years. They've come to professional clubs and the more fancy clubs and divisions, and they've stuck at it and been a menace, and that's what they've been today. And one goal changes this game.
Well, I certainly think it'll be put to bed if Gateshead can get a third. Throw into Guiseley here on the left-hand side. Guiseley committing a lot of players forward on the attack. And now Cantrell can play it out to Regan Hutchinson, who I've been impressed with today. He's been
good energy, and
he's been very busy, and his ball control's been very good as well, and his distribution. As that has of Brad Nicholson, who just passed the ball into Cantrell in the centre. As we wait for the ball over the top, aiming for Bailey Thompson, sorry. And say much like last week, Kettering brought on a big lad up front to try and disrupt the Gateshead defence. Jacob Chapman with a long kick out his hands up there towards Jacob. But that man again, Regan Hutchinson, comes away with the ball, gets it to Cantrell. Ball played over the top, but Nicholson will be there just to call. Oh, and his touch wasn't the greatest, and Chapman had to come out and clear that there. And, well, the goalkeeper was alert, and Nicholson thanks him for that as well.
I think it's the one thing that Jacob Chapman has done very, very well, by the way, is the fact he's been alert. His starting position as a goalkeeper has been excellent. So, he could have easily stuck inside his 6-yard box there and waited for that ball to come to him. It's been under hit, but he's got a good advanced starting point, so he's been able to come out and collect the ball. And Dan Ward's coming on.
Yeah, well, we've got a substitute that's just come on, is Adam Hoare for Guiseley. I didn't see who came off there. It's on the far side, I think. Is it
Felix, isn't it?
Yeah, Felix. It's come up on the far side. Dan Ward is going to come on, and I think it's going to be for Campbell. It is. As Campbell trots over here to come off, and Dan Ward want to come on, and nice to see Campbell getting a warm round of applause from the Tyne Weir stand. They appreciate his hard work and running that he's done today. He'll feel that he probably should have scored the third goal when he had the opportunity, but it just didn't sit up for him. But Dan Ward's first action now is to defend this long throw into the box from the far side. Lots of players inside the 6-yard box again as the ball's looped up towards that, headed clear by Owen Bailey, only as far as a Guiseley shirt, and appeals for a A foul there, I think, from the Guiseley manager as a dangerous ball whipped into the back. Man in acres of space, and it's went in. It's 2-1, and that was a bit of a mess for Gateshead.
That's a horrible, horrible goal, isn't it? They just haven't dealt with the second ball well enough. Everyone's been attracted to the near post. It's scrappy. I tell you what, guys, they're right back in this now.
I couldn't see who exactly got the final touch there. I think it might have been the substitute Hall on the far side, but that ball across found the man in acres of space. He put it across, and well, 6s and 7s it ended up in the back of the net. But it's 2-1 here.
13, Bailey Thompson.
Oh, well, there's Bailey Thompson got the final touch there.
Gateshead have now got to manage this game very, very carefully.
Well, Macaulay Langstaff has went down now inside the Gateshead half. Not what we wanted to see. You would imagine if we are going to make another sub, and if you kind of continue,
maybe
Connor Panny will come on. But we noticed a couple of times back into the first half, and in this half he's back up on his feet. You'd think there's a precaution he might be taken off. But at the moment, Gates are going to have to try and ride out this pressure as a ball back there. And I think Nicholson put the ball back to Chapman there, and you just feel a little bit uneasy when them balls are going back now.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at, clock says 36, but I think there's going to be about 4 or 5 minutes added on. So we're probably looking near a 9-10 minutes left here. Gateshead should be out of sight. You know, we mentioned getting sloppy, and they've kind of done that a bit here, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, well, now Guiseley drive forward again with the ball down. Ward tries to win the ball back. He has. Langstaff manages to get up to Ollie, but Ollie needs support. He's got to get this ball forward. Plays over the top for Blackett, though, who's chasing down. He's going to get past Ben Sharif, but he needs support himself. He's up there by himself. Gives it back to Womble, and that wasn't a very good ball at all. It was a poor ball, in truth, but the ball comes off Bailey, and it's out for a throw-in to Guiseley. And
yeah, he's got to do better. Blackett's made a great run, you know. He's done well to get there. He's kept composed. Just the execution.
Gateshead FC ladies, the full squad and the current squad are here today.
Bailey heads the ball forward.
Division last year. Currently won 2 games this season.
The ball played forward for Bailey Thompson to chase down, and Tinkler gets it back to Chapman, who takes a touch.
And they have nominated Macaulay Langstaff, number 7.
Well, that was the longest introduction for a man of the match I've ever heard. But now Blackett's in on goal. Can he get a shot off? Lovely tackle there by Jake Hull, who really he had to make that right. He had to make that the tackle, and he did.
It's a great ball, you know. It's a great ball on behind, and that ball has been on ever since the first half. Just played into that channel, the left or right channel. And Guiseley just aren't defending that ball very well at all. And I've got to be honest, I think Gateshead should have maybe tried to utilise that a little bit more.
Oh, Blackett's looked good. He's come on. He's dived onto these through balls and made life hell for the defenders. But Gateshead have a corner here. Ollie on the far side goes in towards the 6-yard box. Couldn't get near it. Gateshead. It's been headed clear. Tinkler, has he been fouled? He pushed number 18 in the back from behind. The referee instantly put the whistle towards his lips after that, and the wind is picking up here at Gateshead Stadium. We make 6 minutes of normal time here. We just surmised we could be 4 or 5 added on, and Gateshead are going to have to see this one out the hard way. As Ben Sharif pumps it over the top towards Bailey Thompson. That was definitely offside, but referee says
what a pass.
The linesman didn't put a flag up, but well, that's a foul if the other one was, as Greg Ollie goes to ground. Well, we mentioned it ever since Gateshead took the lead that the third one would have killed it off, and and Ben Sharif sees that ball go through there after losing his footing. But it was always going to be the important goal, the third goal.
It was, and it needed to come quite early second half, because I think if it had done, I think you would have seen a 4th and a 5th. But instead, there's the nerves are around now, and everyone's a little bit on edge. That helps.
Yeah, all played over the top there and out of play for a throw-in. Gateshead in no hurry to get the ball for the throw-in. There's the 4th official. He picks up the spare ball and hands it to Womble, who I think is going to give a good account of himself today here, the former youngster.
Hasn't been as effective second half.
No.
But I think you could
say that about one or two players, but
that's a push as well, by the way.
Well, Ollie, can he pick up the loose ball and it comes off a Guiseley player?
Do you know, we talk about Greg Ollie's class and his clever passing and all this sort of stuff, but he's put in a real, and I mean, genuinely, physically strong performance today.
Yeah.
He's really mixed it well with a big Guiseley side.
Throw into Paul Blackett, who nods it out of play there. He tried to keep it in. It wouldn't sit up for him. We're into the 41st minute. As we wait the goal kick. And now the ball goes straight out of play for a throw into Gateshead in front of the Gateshead dugout, in front of the Guiseley dugout. And now we just want nothing silly from Gateshead. Use that passing that they used in the first half and see this out.
I still think there's one chance either side here, to get another goal.
Without a doubt. Well, the Guiseley bench are wanting to talk about time wasting there. That goes out, another throw into Gateshead. Gateshead not committing as many people forward here for the throw in, but Womble calmly plays it back to Tinkler. Tinkler takes a touch and manages to keep a hold of the ball there. That was a little bit nervy. He had the confidence in what he was doing, but fortunately the ball stuck to him. This ball's headed forward. Keeper just comes to the edge of his box and wisely lets it run and makes the defender come towards him. Just a little bit of time, but
every second counts.
It certainly does. Not when you're nervous, though. Long kick out of his hands there from Jacob Chapman, and it's going to go out of play for, I think it's a goal kick or a throw-in on the far side. Goal kick. Went very near the corner flag. I'll say thank you very much to everyone that joined us. Sorry about the first 4 minutes where we had the technical issue where I had forgot to unmute the mic. Everything was working on the mixer, just not on the laptop. But I hope we've enjoyed it since then. Still not over yet, as Robbie Tinkler's going to clear this ball up the pitch towards Blackett, who was beaten in the air. Now Owen Bailey can bring it down, lobs it over a player in front of him, and was he fouled? Well, seemed to come off a Guiseley boot, that, but to throw into Guiseley. Little story there to nod it out.
Ben Sharif's playing further forward, isn't he?
Yeah, Ben Sharif is a lot higher up the pitch. And say it's very notable that when Guiseley go forward, they're committed more in numbers. And here's yet another dangerous long throw. And you've got Jake Hull up there, Ben Sharif and Bailey Thompson to aim for. Very dangerous set piece this is for them. And they headed clear, and can Ben Chapman pluck that out there?
Great win from Louis Story, by the way.
Well, Gateshead see that threat off. Chapman in no rush to release this ball. Nice little bit of gamesmanship there. Moves across to the other side of the box to kick it. The ball goes up towards Langstaff, and I think that's going to bounce out. And the wind, I think, is just getting behind it. The wind's coming across from the south end of the stadium, the north end of the stadium, sorry. And it's howling through here, as you may have picked up on the microphones. But Guiseley trying to win the ball, go forward as Gateshead ping a ball up, but it's intercepted by the Guiseley defence and now distributed down the left-hand side as number 18, a substitute, is dispossessed by Greg Ollie, who plays the ball forward. And this is going to be a good ball for Blackett to get in front of the defender. He has, but he's the only man up. And Dan Ward has come up, and so Ollie as well. He's done well, nothing silly. Gateshead still in possession, and now back with Blackett. Blackett plays it back to Womble. Really, and that's what Gateshead want to do. Keep the ball in possession. The ball over the top from Tinkler, you might have said, was a little bit wasted, but we're into the final minute of the 90 minutes here, and we'll wait to see how long is going to be added from the referee. My guess is 4 to 5 minutes. We'll see momentarily.
Coming our way.
Yeah. Well, the ball goes out of play there from the goalkeeper's clearance. Both goalkeepers, their distribution in the second half, I think, has been affected by the weather.
Absolutely, yeah. And as you say, it's picked up, hasn't it? This wind, it's it's really howling around the stadium now.
It certainly is. As Ollie had time to bring that down, it does very well. Beats a man, drives into the middle, plays it across to Langstaff. Can he get his hat trick? He beats one man, goes for the shot. Well, deflect. It must have been a good tackle there because it hit the athletics pad behind the goal. And 4 minutes of added on time here, and Gateshead have a corner on the far side.
It has been announced there will be a minimum of 4 minutes additional time.
4 minutes added on here. Absolutely no rush for Gateshead to take this either. Yeah. So Ward and Ollie are going over to take it short.
Well, wait for this one to Gateshead, and worked it well in the corners. Ollie drives into the middle. Can he get it? Goes for a shot himself. Another corner. Well, we mentioned about Longstaff having, a bit of a limp at times. I think he's put himself on the line today, and he's hobbling a little bit there on the edge of the box, but he can. We're not, the final whistle hasn't went yet, but he can hold his head up high with his performance today.
He certainly can. Yeah, he's won. Well, he's hopefully won the game for Gateshead.
Both goals beautiful in their own way. The drive and run of the first one, and the second one was just a beautiful finish. And it's a throw-in on the far side here to Guiseley. They were trying to
literally went out in the corner flag.
Well, he's pinched at least 18 yards there because he was level with the corner of the box when he let go of that one. Well, Gateshead have the throw here. We've probably got about 2 minutes remaining here of the injury time added on. Minimum of 4 minutes. Gateshead 2, Guiseley 1. And this will be a massive 3 points. 4 points from the bank holiday weekend if they can hold on to this. And going into the weekend, I think most Gateshead fans would have wanted to come away with that as a minimum. Well, Gateshead win a throw here. Certainly in no rush to take it, but the referee says get it up the pitch and bounces past a few players, but cleared by Guiseley, and Dan Ward just dispossessed and wins the ball back there. A little bit fortunate, but Ollie Gateshead can now drive forward. There's Blackett's onside, and that, well, he adjusted his run, and I would have said he was on there.
Well, I mean, Blackett there, you see he's taking a step back, he's curved his run. I don't think that's offside. If it is, it's by the narrowest of margins.
Yeah, I think that's a very harsh one. He, as you see, he took the step back, curved his run, but it's an opportunity for Guiseley to get the ball up the pitch from the free kick. Ben Sharif wins the header down to a Guiseley player inside the box. Gateshead managed to hook it clear, only as far as Hutchinson. As Regan Hutchinson puts it up into the danger zone, nodded out, but it falls to the Gateshead. Grattan on the edge of the box. He's still twisting and turning. It comes off Ollie for a throw, and we know they can do their long throws here. And this is going to be another dangerous long throw. As all the big men, even the goalkeeper, is up towards the halfway line here. I thought he was going to come into the box. And Gateshead,
I'd imagine it's going near post to Ben Sharif.
As it goes towards Ben Sharif, and it's headed clear. Is it going to go for a corner? It is, and Gateshead ending this one. The Gateshead fans' hearts thumping away. Surely this has got to be the last kick of the game. Up comes the goalkeeper as well.
Chapman's been smothered here.
Yeah, they are absolutely covering Chapman as they've done all game. The ball comes in. Keeper comes up, heads the ball down, and out goes for a goal kick. And hopefully that is Gateshead securing the 3 points this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I agree, but they shouldn't be in this position. They've been far the better side. It's just sloppiness in the second half that has got them into this nervy situation they're in now. It's don't get me wrong, they're by far the better side throughout the game, but I think just the
unforced errors,
in not holding on to the ball and not taking their chances, and hopefully they'll learn from this because they're going to face tougher tests coming up.
Certainly are. Well, Chapman, the referee looks at his watch here as he waits this kick, and there you go. Gateshead score their second home win of the season, making it 7 points in the first 3 games. It's been a good start for Gateshead, but it was a nervy finish to the end of this game. But hopefully they can continue this run in form.
It's a good start. It's a solid start of the season. It could have been an absolutely spectacular one if Saturday had that held on Chester on Saturday, but I think 7 points from 9 is a really, really good start to this season. As I say, there are bigger test line in weight, but they go into that tricky period coming up with a good tally behind them. The 3 forwards look dangerous. Defensively, they look fairly solid. You know, there are players coming back to full fitness as well. Everything's positive at the moment. I really like the looks of the 2 loan signings. I think they've looked good. Jacob Chapman looks a very good goalkeeper, and Matty Jacob at left wing back, I think, looks a real prospect. I think Owen Bailey and Greg Ollie have had good games today, and the 3 forwards were good. My man of the match, I think, would have been Louis Story. I thought he was excellent throughout today defensively. I know it'll go to Langstaff because of his goals, his work rate, but I thought Louis Story had a fine game at centre half as well. It's a deserved win, but it shouldn't have been as nervy as it was.
Yeah, well, we've had a message from Steve Morgan, and he has put, 1 second, it'll come on the screen. Great commentary. Cheers. Couldn't make the game, but the podcast live was excellent. Well, thank you very much. I'd say great first half, but we had to have some nervy moments in the second half, but they showed good resolve. I've mentioned in the past on previous podcasts that maybe the gates of the world might have crumbled, but in the previous few games, they've started on fire and they've stayed strong to see the games out.
They have, yeah. They've kind of shown both sides of the game, haven't they? The first half, they played some lovely stuff. They got the ball down, they passed it, they moved well. Second half was a bit more about having to dig in and see off the pressure. The goal they've conceded was disgusting. It was a horrible goal. You know, it's just scrappy, and it kind of felt like the only way that Guiseley were going to score past them today was by scrapping it like that. But Gateshead have shown their mettle. You know, they've really dug in and got a good, solid win that carries on a promising start to the season.
Well, Mark, it's always been a pleasure to do the commentary, and today was no different. We'll say we've got a couple of messages here. Neil Pinkton's put thank you, and Peter Walton has put thank you very much, guys. And we've got another one from Connor Rice. Undefeated, playoffs with a game in hand, above live, all happy days. Well, a big thank you to all of you for listening. Apologies for the first few minutes where we had the technical issue, but Gateshead, another 3 points at home. It doesn't get much better than this. We hope you've enjoyed the commentary and the game. We'll see you on the next home game, and please share the podcast. And also, just before we go, if you want to listen to the Heat Army podcast live on Thursday, we'll hopefully have maybe a Gateshead player on or a former player at 9 p.m. Via all these platforms that you've listened to today's game on. And we'll see you next time. Thank you and bye.